Lights, camera, daddies. Welcome to another exciting episode where we're rolling out the red carpet for a blockbuster discussion on movies. From the silver screen to the small screen, join us as we dive into the cinematic universe with popcorn in hand and laughter in our hearts. Get ready for spoiler-free reviews, wild theories, and maybe even a few embarrassing movie mishaps. Whether you're a diehard cinephile or just looking for a good laugh, this episode promises to be a real treat. So grab your favorite snacks, silence your cell phones, and settle in for a movie marathon with the Daddies. I'm Greg.
And I'm Eric.
And this week, we are going to be discussing and diving into the world of movies. So before we begin this episode, I think we would be shit-covered dicks if we didn't talk about how when this episode airs, it will air on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, a couple of SCDs we would be.
I think I used that term also when we had lunch today.
Which was slamming, by the way.
It was so
You
fucking
could call that
good.
our Valentine's Day lunch.
Sure. And
I'm sorry I didn't treat.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah,
but
bad.
that's okay. We split it because it's 2024.
That's right. We pay our fair share.
We do. But I think we would be shit-covered dicks if we didn't talk about Valentine's Day just a little bit. I want to say I think it's an overrated fucking holiday. I think that it is a Hallmark holiday that was created. I don't want to say created because that sounds like I'm some sort of like
conspiracy theorist.
I don't want to be that guy, but I think it was. It's just a way to sell dumb shit. I mean, I get the same things every year for Jenna. Flowers and chocolates. Like that's
funny because I get Jenna flowers and a dildo every year.
And I hope it comes from adamandeve.com where you spend $25 and you get $100 worth of free sex gifts and DVDs.
The worst sex gifts ever. It's like, it's not even worth replacing the batteries on it because
like you may or may not get fucking gangrene or some sort of weird pussy eating amoeba.
They say don't put this inside of you.
But you know, I just think it's overrated, and I think it's, I don't want to say a glutton of a holiday, but Valentine's Day stuff has already been out since Christmas. I feel like.
Yeah, but you know what? They I think we need something in that time frame because what, it goes Christmas and then what Memorial Day in May.
St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day is a much better fucking holiday than Valentine's
That's coming
Day.
up soon.
Was it the 17th of March? Always.
Yeah.
Corned beef, cabbage.
Yeah.
You love cabbage.
I hate cabbage, but I like corned beef or just
Corned
regular beef without being corned.
So if you pickle something, does it automatically become corn?
I got a problem with pickling shit. Is if you pickle a cucumber, it becomes a pickle, but when you pickle anything else, it just becomes the pickled version of itself. What's so special about cucumbers?
And so, but why is it when you pickle beef, it becomes corn?
Wait, is that all that makes it corned? Is when you pickle it?
I don't know. I don't know if do you pickle?
I don't know.
You
know what? I take it back.
Pickled?
I don't like the corned beef or the cabbage.
I don't know enough about corned anything. I know that it tastes fucking delicious. It takes forever to cook, and it comes with a little packet that some would say, I guess it's not a sachet. A sachet is it's a special, what is it, peppercorns wrapped in a cheesecloth.
Sounds like some chef shit that I don't know about.
Dipped in a soup.
Yes,
I
chef.
think.
All right, yeah. All right, so established. And St. Patty's Day brings the the Shamrock Shake at McDonald's. So Valentine's Day don't got shit.
And the cool thing about the Shamrock Shake is it's very low in calories. So you can drink a large, and there's only maybe 2,200 calories.
It's just your entire day's worth right there.
But, you know, the Shamrock Shake is really fucking good. But it still can't touch the jalapeno McDouble. And that's all I have to say.
Yeah. Them's the glory days of McDonald's. Jalapeno McDoubles, what was there? The Buffalo McChicken and bag fries. The glory days.
So for those of you that don't know what bag fries are, you would get a bag and then you get another bag that had your fries in it, and you get a little seasoning packet, and I think it was like buffalo ranch and maybe like a garlic parm.
Yeah.
You would pour the seasoning into the bag. You'd put your fries in. You'd close that motherfucker up, and you'd shake it, and you'd shake it real good. But Eric and I used to each, like, I would get ranch, he'd get buffalo, and then we'd 50-50 it. And so we, like, what year was that? It was 2014. My dick probably hasn't been as hard since 2014. To be completely
Viagra,
honest,
I just need bag fries.
I just need bag fries, jalapeno McDouble, and a buffalo ranch McChicken.
See.
But anyway, so we got off topic a little bit, and by that I mean a lot. But I just wanted to address, so this episode, for all of you listening on the day that this airs, Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
It's a stupid holiday, but happy Valentine's Day. All right, so enough, I guess, dicking around. Let's get into it. So, top 3 favorite movies. So we have some categories that we were thinking would be nice to kind of pick 3 movies from each one to talk about. So, Eric, what are your top 3 favorite movies from comedy, horror, action, drama? Did we say, are we skipping drama?
I don't want to do drama. I don't know what a drama movie is.
Okay, so let's backpedal. So comedy, horror, action, sci-fi.
Okay. All right. I got you. Ready? Comedy. I have the holy grail of comedy. Okay. You might. All right. This will make sense. The Boy movies. Okay. Ready? Grandma's Boy, Tommy Boy, The Water Boy.
The Water Boy, really? That's up there with one of your favorite, like...
If you didn't note Adam Sandler, although 2 of those are Happy Gilmore productions, because so is Grandma's Boy, but I love Grandma's Boy so much, and I feel like you can't say comedy without saying Adam Sandler.
And you know what's funny about those? Kevin James doesn't appear in either of those Adam Sandler movies, and that's fucking...
That's very on purpose.
Wild.
Shay loves Kevin James.
And that's crazy to me, because I would actually pay to not see Kevin James in something. He's almost as not funny as Dave Coulier from Full House.
Again, I didn't watch Full House, so I don't know who that is.
Joey, cut it out.
Again, I know that little.
He was the friend that lived with him. He was one of the 3.
Not Stamos.
He was one of the 3 daddies. Not Stamos, and not Saget.
Okay. Then I know who he is.
By the way.
Yeah, Bob Saget dying was actually, that kind of slapped. That hit hard.
Not as hard as his head on his headboard.
Oh, how did he die?
He fell and he hit his head on his headboard.
On his headboard? Like, you mean in bed?
Apparently. Or, yeah, and so then...
Talk about some real bedhead.
He, like, hit his head and then... He went to sleep. That's why I'm always afraid if I hit my head, because you always hear like, so-and-so hit their head. They went to bed. They were fine. And then they didn't wake the fuck back up.
Oh, you know what will help that? Never going to sleep.
Well, look at Liam Neeson's wife skiing. She hit her head. She was like, I'm fine. It's cool. And then just didn't wake the fuck back up. It's like if you get into a car accident, go to the hospital to get checked for internal bleeding, you know?
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we aren't doctors, so this is not medical advice. This is just, that's just my take on it.
Yeah, that's daddy advice.
That's daddy advice. Okay, so those were your top 3 comedies.
Comedy movies, yeah. So I need some from you.
Okay. So, you ready? Wedding Crashers, Step Brothers, and you ready for my favorite movie, like comedy movie of all time?
Yes.
And Jenna hates it. Austin Powers.
I love those. Actually, those are 3 really great movies.
Those 3 right there.
I'm not mad about that at all.
That's so fucking funny. They are so funny.
It's so difficult to count just 3. Like I'm thinking now, all 3 of yours could replace almost any 3 of mine. And at the same time, I completely forgot The Hangover. Like, oh my God, first Hangover movie,
the OG Hangover. Well, okay,
it changed comedy.
So we don't even necessarily then have to say. I don't want to say top 3. These are the top 3 favorite movies that we can think of right now.
Oh yeah, I can be convinced.
I can definitely easily be convinced.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
That's how this is all going to go.
Yes.
So
exactly.
I got my next list.
Okay. So next we have what? Horror. Okay. Go.
Sinister. I love Sinister.
Wait. Like Bagul, Ethan Hawke, fucking Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah, with the snuff films.
Really?
Yeah, he finds like the reels up in the attic,
and then at the we said spoiler free, but that movie's old enough now where
we're not. Yeah, if you
whereas
haven't seen
he
Sinister,
brings you into like the fourth dimension almost. Bagul like kidnaps the kids and convinces them to like.
Was that the demon's name?
The demon, yeah, his name was Bagul. But anyway, okay, I'm sorry. Yes.
What about a Gabagool?
A Gabagool. Tony Soprano would love that movie if it had the Gabagool in it.
So, Sinister. It Follows. I know you hate that movie. I loved It Follows.
What is it? You fuck.
Yes.
You give me the thing.
It's a sexually transmitted demon. An STD.
It's an STD, and I just remember that big motherfucker breaking through.
Shit.
Like, didn't he like break? Like she's like hiding in the shed or whatever, and like they're all trying.
Yeah, they're all
to,
in there, and don't they like try to shoot it?
They try to shoot it, but it doesn't die.
It doesn't. It never.
Yeah. It just.
Yeah,
and I heard just doing a sequel.
I don't think that's necessary as much as I love it, but it's probably not necessary. I did really enjoy that movie. Okay, but you ready for my third?
Yeah.
It's one that just came out this year. So, and there's a story that goes with it. It's called When Evil Lurks. So I didn't know. I went into this movie knowing very little. It was in theaters. We went to go see it. The very last showing in the theater at all. You couldn't get a later show for this. Like they took it out after this. The theater was empty. Not a single other soul was in the movie theater with us. Okay.
Wait. So did you see a hipster kind of indie flick?
I won't say indie. I'll say it was Spanish. It was based in Mexico.
Okay.
So we got the tickets, and she was like, "Is it okay that there's what was it? Subtitles?" And I said, and I figured,
because if you don't know how to read, you're fucked.
Well, I didn't know it was Spanish, so I figured subtitles was just the captioned movies. And I assume that they have some accessible movies for people that are deaf, or they have. But I realize
is that what that means when it says
no? Those are captions. Closed captions are just when they have it in the words.
Which I love, spoken. By the way.
I can't watch a movie. I can't watch a movie
without
home.
Fucking. Yep,
I'm deaf. I must not be able to hear shit. So I go, oh yeah, I always listen to it with captions, not knowing that it was a Spanish speaking movie. And then I was kind of upset, but then that movie turned out to be fire. It was jarring. It wasn't the absolute scariest movie I've ever seen, but it was a lot of fun.
And I feel like sometimes though that's even better than like, okay, so most horror films are, we're in a small town and this happens and then a bunch of kids are fucking and like they get murdered, and then it's always because like it's always something really kind of stupid. Like I feel like that's that's the standard stereotypical formula of a horror flick, right?
Sure. But what you got?
Okay, so number one for me, well, I don't want to say number one. I'm just gonna list my list. So Saw. The OG Saw,
or the franchise.
It got progressively, I want to say, worse. However, the latest Saw that just came out was fucking awesome. So Jenna, I was watching it one night, and she was like, "Yeah, I can't fucking like." She was like sleeping on the couch. She's like, "I can't watch this while you like I can't sleep while you're trying to watch this." I think like she was like cutting her leg off with like a
dental floss.
Yeah, a jiggly saw. I think it was.
Oh, what about a jiggly puff?
A jiggly puff. Yeah. So Saw.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for this next one?
Yes.
I don't think you Trick or Treat.
I can see. I never saw
with
it.
Anna Paquin. And it's like a bunch
Sookie
of
Stackhouse.
It's a bunch of like shorts almost that all kind of tie together at the end. So it's like maybe 5, but then you see a part and you're like, oh wait, and then at the end it all comes together.
I should see that.
Oh yeah,
I should see that. It's all coming together. But is that Emperor's New Groove?
What's his name? Kronk.
Yeah. Is the guy that voices him?
Had
that voice.
Joe Swanson.
Yeah, that guy.
What is his name?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes, him.
Yeah.
And then you ready for this one? This is kind of like, but I just really love the OG Scream. I just really like the Scream movies as a whole.
Yeah. Put a classic in there.
Put a classic, and I think it's like I was torn between that and like Child's Play because I think Chucky is funny.
Sure.
Yeah. Like I think throwing a classic in there,
that's important.
Is I don't want to say warranted, but
all right. I got 3 fire. I'll say movies, but in if I name if there's more than one good one in there, like from a trilogy or a saga, I kind of include them all. And I'm gonna change up. I think I'm gonna change up what I originally had, which is gonna sound weird. I'll tell you why. All right, I'll give you my original list. All right, John Wick. I didn't see the new one, but I think John Wick movies.
John Wick like 13?
4. John Wick 4. I didn't see John Wick 4.
Right.
I haven't seen that yet. Die Hard. Fucking so
good.
I
didn't even think about Die Hard.
Die Hard is such a good, like, especially that first one. I also really enjoyed the third one. After the third one, meh.
You know what? Live Free or Die Hard, I thought was pretty good with.
Was that the one Justin Long?
Yeah. And that one was.
I didn't have anything.
Fun.
I didn't have anything wrong with it, but I don't look back at it fondly like I did, like at least the first one and the third one, because I just saw them when they were on TV. When I was growing up. And then, so my third one, I originally put the movie Crank. Do you remember Crank?
Wait, with Jason Statham, where he's like, "Fuck."
If your heart goes
under,
it's just like the movie Speed, but it's the speed of his heart rate.
It's not the speed of the bus. It's right. So I just remember him fucking Amy Smart.
Yeah,
to keep it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I love that movie, but I'm gonna go ahead and say if I'm talking about just peak action movies. And here's why I didn't want to do it, and you'll know why. I'll say the Matrix movies, but I didn't want to have 2 Keanu Reeves trilogies in there.
Well, let me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you go ahead on yours.
Okay. So I was gonna say John Wick as well. I think John Wick.
Fair. That's super fair.
What I really like about John Wick is just how sexy it is, like how stylish, and I love movies with vibrant colors.
Doesn't it sort of have like a cyberpunky?
It does have a cyberpunky
feel?
thing. It almost reminds me of. Did you ever see Equilibrium with Christian Bale and what's his face? Sean Bean?
No, but does he die in the first?
Well, he does, because if he's in it, he
Sean
will
Bean
die.
Does he dies early?
But my thing is with Equilibrium. So it's all about they live in a futuristic world where you're not allowed to feel emotion. So you take these pills to suppress emotion. So you're just kind of, everyone is like-minded. Well, Christian Bale, he drops his pills one day and forgets to take them. So he's like one of the guys, and his job is to get and kill the people that, he forgets to take his pill, and then he remembers like his wife dying, and he starts to feel. So then it's all about him starting a revolution to go against the man. And they do this thing, it's called like Gun Kato. So it's like kung fu with guns. That movie's fucking dope. It came out in the early 2000s.
All right, I'm putting it on my list.
Equilibrium.
Okay.
Wait, did you give me your 3? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
yep,
okay. All
right. I went.
So we've also been drinking as we
shout out to Elysian Space Dust.
Please sponsor us. I love you so much, Space Dust. So John Wick. Number 2 for me, and this might be one of my all-time favorite movies, but I'm just going to. Actually, I'll list this one last.
Okay.
Number 2 for me is Fury.
Oh, the tank movie.
Oh my god, that movie had my fucking nuts. I want to say my asshole puckered, but my nuts.
Not a gape.
Turtling.
Your asshole was the opposite of a gape.
It was, yeah. So your asshole is a gape,
and yours is puckering.
Mine is puckered.
Okay.
It was so fucking good. There was just something about that movie, how raw and like kind of, I don't want to say real, because it definitely was a very unrealistic movie, but it felt good. But my favorite movie of all time and my favorite action movie. You ready for this? The Rock.
Sean
Connery, Nicolas Cage.
Never heard of it.
Ed Harris.
Wait, I might have actually never seen it.
Michael Bay. It's the only Michael Bay film
was Ed Harris the one he was in the what was that movie, that TV show on HBO?
Westworld. He was the Man in Black.
Yeah, he was the man.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I ever saw that.
Dude, so it's old. But it's just fun. It's a really fucking fun movie. And it's one of those movies where every time it's on, like Step Brothers or Wedding Crashers, I'll watch it. I will have to. Yeah. It's always on AMC. And I know we were in Disney World last year.
Can you tell me what it's about? Can you sell me on it?
So, all right. There is this chemical compound, this like nerve gas, right? So a bunch of mercenaries from...
Can I be honest? I thought you meant a compound like a prison yard.
Oh, okay. No.
And all these chemicals are hanging out in it.
So
there's a chemical compound, a gas.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is. I mean, a bunch of mercenaries steal this chemical.
Okay.
And they load it up into these rockets. So they go to Alcatraz and they hold. So they're giving tours. Obviously, Alcatraz at this point is well decommissioned. So, you can go there for tours.
Oh.
So they hold everyone on this island hostage and like, hey, if you don't pay us, $40 million or whatever, we're going to launch these missiles into San Francisco and kill everybody.
Wait, that was like the plot of Triple X.
So
Wait, can I replace?
But Sean Connery was not in
I'm also going to replace Crank
with Triple
X instead of
I'm surprised that wasn't.
I love.
You do love Triple X.
Sorry.
Okay,
go
so
on.
anyway,
Yeah, gas and the.
So Nicolas Cage is a chemist that works for the FBI.
Okay.
Sean Connery is the only person to ever escape from Alcatraz.
Oh.
So they're like, hey, we need you to get back in with Nicolas Cage to
Wait a minute, that sounds awesome.
So they go in and it's just a lot of killing. Like, it's just a very violent, over the top. It's over the fucking top. But like, there's one scene where Sean Connery, his name is Mason, and he shoots this like air conditioning unit on this guy, and the dude's dead, but his foot's like twitching, and Nicolas Cage is like, can you do something about that? He's like, well, what do you want me to do? Kill him again? It's real. Watch it.
Yeah. Okay. That's worth a watch.
It's fun. If it's on, it's a couple hours, but it's a good fucking movie.
Yeah. That
might be. I don't want to. Okay. I take it. I don't know if that's my favorite movie of all time, but that's one of them.
That's up there.
It's up there. Okay. So last sci-fi.
Sci-fi. Number one, and I will rank this as number one. At least the whole set of movies. Star Wars. Anybody that knows me knows I love Star Wars. Die-hard Star Wars fan. Probably the biggest Star Wars fan you know. And if I had to pick one,
best Star Wars movie in your opinion?
It might sound cliche to say it, but it's so good, and it kind of was what I loved when I was growing up. Was Empire Strikes Back. So I know that's not.
Which one is that?
The one where they start on Hoth it's the snow planet.
Is that 3, 4, or is it? It's 4, 5, or 6?
Episode 5.
So that was the second
original
one to come out.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
now
Luke gets his hand cut off. The bad guys win in the end.
But okay,
it's a typical.
Did he? So it was always meant to be 4, 5, and 6, or was that just an afterthought?
4 was absolutely like the first one. It was just called Star Wars at first, and he didn't necessarily have plans to make it like 9 movies long at first, but then he said, oh wow, this was popular, this is episode 4. Then he changed it from just the name Star Wars, he changed the name of the movie to Star Wars A New Hope, and then he later changed it to episode 4, leading into he's able to have 3 more episodes in the being the prequels. My man thought ahead.
Now, being someone who is in love with Star Wars.
Yeah.
And did you ever watch any of the older like Star Trek? Like, were you into Star Trek? Besides, like, the new Star Trek movies, I think are fucking awesome.
I never saw the old Star Trek movies, and I only watched one of the new Star Trek movies.
And I think there's 3 now.
Are there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked that first one.
It's good.
What's his
name? Chris Pine.
Yeah.
And Carl Urban.
Yeah. Oh, I like Carl Urban.
Yeah. Better known as, what is it, Billy the Butcher and the Boys?
Yeah. Oh, I love the Boys.
The Boys are so fucking good. Okay. So we got Star Wars.
Yeah. So Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, and Harry Potter. They're just...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, if you're talking like... All right, I'll say this is like my sci-fi / fantasy category.
Well, and did you see they just released like the picture for the new HBO Max Harry Potter? So it's going to be a decade long. So 1 season per book.
What?
Yeah. And they released the first like shot of it. So it's going to be a new series on Max. And I'm excited.
Wait.
Yeah.
Elaborate.
Yeah.
Because I haven't heard of this.
So I don't know who they even cast, like who is playing whom.
Wait. You're talking they're going to they're making the Harry Potter books
into it. It's a TV show, and each season is 1 book.
I hope they get Carl Urban to play Harry Potter.
It's just really old. Yeah, I don't know who because it's gonna have to be a kid that grows up now.
You're blowing my dick off right now,
man.
That's kind of wild. I haven't heard about that at all. I'm kind of.
I do like Harry Potter.
Harry Potter's good. They're good.
The books, those books are maybe because like Reading is tough for me now. So like I can still read the Harry Potter books if I wanted to.
The young adult books.
All right, you ready for my 3?
Yeah, yes.
So I'm going to start with Interstellar.
Oh.
Them Interstellars, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love the memes where it's like
It's
me
been
watching myself
84 years.
or me watching myself when he's like in the bookshelf. It's like me watching myself as a kid, not investing in real estate.
Yes. No.
So Interstellar.
Yeah.
Planet of the Apes, like the new Planet of the Apes.
James Franco.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even the whole trilogy, but I
only
think
saw the first one.
they were really fucking good.
I'm slacking.
Woody Harrelson in 3, fire. And then The Martian.
Oh, The Martian was so good too.
The Martian was so 2 space movies, but totally different space movies.
Yeah.
One was about kind of fixing the world, and the other was just getting fucked on Mars. But I think those are my 3. And you know what? I also want to sidebar, since we're talking about movies. The Deadpool 3 trailer, by the time this is out, the Deadpool 3 trailer will already be out, but it's dropping Super Bowl fucking Sunday. They released the first image, and it's like Wolverine riding a motorcycle, and Deadpool's like hanging on the back. And I hear there's going to be a lot of cameos in this fucking movie.
I'm very excited for that.
And we'll touch more on Marvel, but I am super hype on that.
Me too. That's so great.
I'm also really excited for Sunday just so I can eat a whole bunch of fucking junk food.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some chicken wings and some.
That's what I'm gonna air fry them. I think I'm gonna definitely air fry them. But yeah, all right. So we both just got done pissing and replenishing our alcoholic beverages.
Yeah, I've got a question.
Go on.
When you pee, do you dab the tip of your dick with a little bit of toilet paper?
I don't wear underwear.
Okay.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
So if I don't get the piss off, it's going to dribble down my leg.
Yeah.
So I put both hands on the wall and I just rock my ass back and forth.
Does that get it out?
Yeah, well, I do that for a couple minutes. If you're ever wondering, like, why are you pissing for so long? It's 20 seconds of that is peeing. Another 40 to 50 seconds of that is me shaking my dick to get the piss out.
I heard if you shake it more than twice, you're playing with it.
Well, yeah, that's also what I'm doing. So every time, because what is it? Not every pee-pee is a poo-poo.
But every poo-poo time is a pee-pee time.
But every pee-pee time is also a J-O time.
God damn it.
So I'm very dehydrated a lot.
Well, I'm glad you finished. And so then my second question was...
Yeah, what's the second thing?
Why the hell do you have 2 different types of socks on?
Not only do I have 2 different socks on, look at this one.
Don't tell me it has a hole in the bottom. Don't tell me it has a hole in the bottom. Oh, it does. Dude, throw that out.
But it also doesn't.
Throw that out.
It doesn't.
No elastic around the...
The elastic is gone.
All right, I know what you're getting for Christmas. Or shit, I'm going to get it for your birthday.
Yeah, anyone listening, if you're, wanting to sponsor us, I need fucking socks. Well, okay, but what does a sock always become?
Oh, it's a jizz sock.
Now, hear me out. You could have a specific sock for that, or you could wear your jizz socks.
Do you wear your jizz socks? I retire my jizz socks. Like
I'm
that sock
sure
right there you got on your foot? That's a jizz sock. And then you just throw it in the trash.
After the deed is done, I'm wiping myself up with whatever sock is on my foot.
Wait, you finish on yourself?
Every single time. You got... What else is your belly for?
No.
You got a tummy.
I put it in the sock.
No, that feels too weird.
I have a washcloth now. Or a tissue.
Stomach, every single time. Every single fucking time. So anyway.
Hilarious and revealing.
Yes. Okay, so... Now that we kind of did our movie reviews, why don't we talk about some movies that I think are overrated?
Yes.
And you might not agree with me, but you don't know what I'm about to say.
I don't.
And you might 100% say, that's fucking dumb. I love those movies.
I'll let you know if I disagree.
You know what?
Wait. We can love overrated movies.
No, okay, but...
if I rate them really highly, then I would be agreeing
right.
with the
we
overrated.
Can love overrated movies,
okay.
But I think some of these movies might not necessarily be great. And I'm going to start with number 1. You ready? Frozen.
It's a good movie, man.
I think it's overrated.
It's a good
And I think it's overrated. You want to hear why?
Yes.
Olaf sings exactly like Mike fucking Wazowski from Monsters, Inc. That
like
like
the guy's
super
name?
operatic.
Yeah,
Operatic.
operatic.
I can't do it, but that's what he sounds like, and it drives me crazy every time we watch Monsters Inc. I'm like, God, it's so fucking. And I think it's not even necessarily one mimicking the other. Yeah. It's just that that's how they're singing.
Yeah, I think it's just a thing for guys that aren't singers.
But Josh Gad he's a singer, man.
Is he?
Or not opera. He's on Broadway all the time.
Oh, okay.
He was like, I think, one of the original cast members on the Book of Mormon.
Oh,
yeah.
I still have to see that.
I want to see it too.
Out? Like,
probably.
Do they still do that?
I mean, once it's on Broadway, I feel like it's there for a fucking long time.
But I still see Cats.
Yeah, I'm good. Not ever seeing fucking Cats. Was
Okay,
it Mr. Mistopheles and Team America?
Yeah, I just watched Team America not that long ago.
But okay, so that's my first one. All right.
Uh-huh.
You ready for number 2?
Yeah.
Slumdog Millionaire.
I never saw it.
Exactly.
So I can't say.
So this dude's life just randomly happened to be every question that they asked. So they would say, like, they would ask him a question on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, like the equivalent, like their version of it. And he would get it right. And they'd be like, how do you know that you cheater? But it was really, then it would flash back. And that happened to him in his life.
That sounds bonkers. I remember that
it was dumb.
I remember it being the most popular movie of all time when it came out.
Like, I know powdered donuts make you go nuts. But that, to me, is a jelly-filled donut.
Okay.
And jelly-filled donuts aren't good.
No.
So
best donut? Vanilla cream. Ooh, I love a vanilla cream donut.
The sweet cream, not pudding.
Fuck Boston cream donut.
Okay.
Ew.
Eating a Boston cream donut is literally like somebody fucking took their dick and just put the donut on there and filled it full of cum.
Filled it full and it overflowed and
like
they pulled it out.
It just pours out.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's not good.
It's a cream pie.
Jenna
Boston
loves
cream pie.
Boston cream pie donuts. Okay, so
okay, so that's another one. I can't agree or disagree with whether that's an overrated movie.
So Frozen, Slumdog Millionaire, The Notebook. The Notebook is a hot steaming pile of dumb
Nicholas
shit.
Sparks is the author that wrote the book that the movie was based on. So there's a scene
when it's Rachel McAdams, who I love, by the way, and Ryan Gosling I also love. I love the two of them.
To no fault of their own.
But they're sitting there and it's raining, and this is after they've like been apart forever, and Ryan Gosling went off to the war.
Yeah.
And they mentioned like it being over. And he's like,
it's never over.
It's not to me. And he grabs her and they start kissing and then they fuck. And then they're fucking. And then they're fucking. And then they're fucking. And then she's like, let's go again. He's like, girl, you trying to kill me? And then and then he's like, I need to eat or something. And then, but hear me out.
Yeah.
Her like fiance is James Marsden, who I know. I do too.
Also in Westworld.
Also in Westworld, and also in the OG X-Men movies, he was Cyclops.
Cyclops, that's right.
If you had to fuck Ryan Gosling or James Marsden, who would you go with?
Ryan Gosling's got to be a more caring lover.
I mean, he's not married to, but he has multiple kids with Eva Mendes.
Oh,
yeah,
fantastic.
and she's got to be like 10 years his senior, right?
Yeah. But she's very attractive,
especially in
Training Day.
Training Day.
Yep. Ooh. I just watched Training Day not that long ago too. So apparently, I don't watch new movies. I just keep rewatching the movies that I know and love, like over and over again.
See, the thing about that though that I like is it's like when you go out to eat, right?
Yeah. Oh,
we're at a restaurant.
Yeah. I
don't want to stray from what I love for fear of disappointment, because 9 times out of 10 I'm going to be disappointed.
Yep, that's fair. That's why whenever I go out to go eat, I always get a burger.
And if they don't have a burger and you don't know what's going to be good, you always go to the chicken tenders. Because you know, like, they're probably going to be fine.
Chicken tendies and chalky milk?
Chicken tendies and chalky... what about bagged chalky milk?
Hey, throwback.
Just a little Easter egg. Okay. And then, you ready for this one? And I don't know how you feel about this movie. The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh. So, I see where you're coming with that. The Dark Knight Rises here's the thing. It's probably the best of the Nolan-verse Batman movies. Batman Begins is very good, but when that movie came out, it was so good, but I think it was only so good. I think it was only top ever because what's his name died? Heath Ledger died.
No, wait, The Dark Knight Rises. Bane.
Ew, that's not overrated. That movie was not even I thought you meant The Dark Knight.
I like The Dark Knight a lot.
Me too.
But
me too.
I also really like The Batman. The Batman
was good.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The Dark Knight Rises, yes.
Yeah, if anybody says that The Dark Knight Rises was better than The Dark Knight, nah. Also, I hate the names.
Did you ever see that meme where it's like, so at the end of The Dark Knight Rises when
Alfred
Bruce is sitting in where they in Paris and they
nod
the
cafe and they go, hey.
Where it's like when you called out sick and you're at the bar and you see your boss who also called out
sick, yes.
So, but, and with that, was it The Dark Knight Rises where that dude went fucking crazy and shot up? I think it was where he shot up the movie theater. Do you remember? And he had explosives rigged in his house.
It was The Dark Knight Rises because it was after The Dark Knight.
It was after The Dark Knight,
and he did himself up as
himself up as the Joker, with the dyed hair. That's fucking wild.
That is wild.
All right, you ready
Aurora, Colorado?
Yes. Yeah. You ready for my last
overrated movie?
Last overrated movie?
Let's hear it.
Titanic. I think as a triple billion-dollar fucking grossing film, and let's be honest. The only reason as kids we watched that movie was because we got to see one very vital thing, and that was a titty. On a PG movie, you got to see bare boobs.
Two things about that. First, the boob thing. There's the movie, James Bond, Dr. No. You get to see a boob in that movie, and it's also rated PG because it's so old.
Sure, because the 60s.
Yeah.
Okay,
60s, 70s, something like that.
But for me, I feel like I saw... Actually, I think I saw Titanic before I saw Dr. No, to be honest. And if I saw Dr. No, I didn't know what a titty was.
So let me tell you my second favorite thing about this conversation. I still haven't seen Titanic.
Like at all?
I've never seen the Titanic.
So there's this scene where... So the point of her being naked was draw me like one of your French girls.
I've heard the line.
So he draws her because Jack, the idea is Rose is from an upper class family and Jack, Leonardo DiCaprio, won his way onto the ship in a poker game. So he's like a poor kid.
Is he just a hustler?
He is. Okay. He won. So they're all sitting there eating and he was like, they're like, how did you get on here? He's like, I won my way on. But on the Titanic, the classes all had... So each economic class had their own section in the ship.
Wait, isn't that like the caste system? Like where you're here's the peasants, here's the middle...
I mean, it was the early 1900s. So
yeah, I guess that was probably a thing.
But so after he draws her, so before he draws her, he's showing Rose all of his drawings. And there's this meme where it's him holding up the thing, showing her, and he's smiling, and it's just a stick figure with really big titties.
As somebody that's never seen it, are they nice?
What is her name? Kate.
Kate McKinnon.
Wait.
Kate Hudson.
I love Kate Hudson.
Yeah, it's not Kate Hudson, but I do really also love Kate Hudson.
Who is the...
look that up because I won't rest.
Titanic.
Actually, could you just look up the picture?
Kate Winslet.
Kate Winslet. Okay.
And I think she's really attractive. I do. Even now, I think she's aged pretty well. She was in...
And she's the one that took his spot on the door.
Yeah, which by the way, okay. So was it Bruce Almighty when he's like, "Oh, are you too afraid to freeze your fat ass off?" Because didn't MythBusters didn't they debunk they both could have floated on the door? And I think if they would have just put two life vests under the door, it would have floated both of them. But whatever. I mean, it's a fucking movie with made up characters. But. And that movie was 2 VHS tapes, by the way.
just like Pearl Harbor.
Just the Pearl Harbor movie. Pearl Harbor was... You want to talk about steaming pile of donkey shit?
Wait, what's the... Okay, all right.
Yes,
so I see where you're going with this. What's the worst movie that you've ever seen? I want to know.
My personal movie that I think is the worst.
Yes.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Splice.
I know the movie.
With Adrian Brody. And
And it's supposed to be like the really
they create this like life form in a lab, but they use I think like their DNA.
Yeah.
And then like this thing like evolves and changes shape. He ends up fucking it.
Oh.
And
I thought the movie was
like,
sexual.
what the fuck? Like that's kind of like your child. But he's like, no, it's my DNA. It's different.
Wait, it's my DNA. That's your child.
Yeah.
That's incest.
So Jen and I went to the movies.
Yes.
And I was like, no, babe, we have to see this. This is apparently really good.
Can you tell me what else was in the movie theater at the time?
Like, I think we were going to go see Crazy Stupid Love. That movie's really funny, by the way, with Steve Carell, Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone.
I was just talking to somebody about that movie.
Kevin Bacon.
And that's the one with the love triangle. I
and
want to
they
see
don't
that.
realize that like Emma Stone is dating Ryan Gosling, but Steve Carell is getting advice, but they don't realize they're all.
I want to watch that.
It's really funny.
Is that a good movie?
It is
better than Splice.
So we saw. I think it was Splice. I think it was. The timing checks out.
Okay.
And we saw Splice, and like, holy shit, it was. I'm sure there's someone like, well, actually, it was pretty groundbreaking.
Ew.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
It was dumb. It was silly.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay. So to kind of talk more about like overrated movies.
Yeah.
What about current movies that are out right now? So I haven't been to the theaters in a long time. I think you've been more recently than I have. I think the last movie I saw was Ant-Man when we both went.
Oh,
can we talk about the Marvel movies right now?
Oh yeah, let's go
kind
Marvel
of
movies.
where we are in that universe.
So can we agree that Disney getting Marvel was one of the best things that ever happened to comic book movies ever? Because before that happened, really all we had was a couple Batman movies and then the Spider-Man movies.
And it was all Sony. I mean, Sony owned Marvel.
Yeah.
And then Iron Man came out and kind of, I think that really changed everything.
Yeah.
In terms of, and then as the years went on, I think, did you watch the new episode of Curb?
No, I'm sorry.
So Leon's like, you see her, she's what we call DTM, doing too much. And I think Disney is now doing too much. And I'm glad they're kind of,
they need to rein it in.
They're reining it in, and they're saying we don't need 18 movies to come out in a year plus 19 TV shows. So like we get Deadpool this year, and that's it.
Fantastic.
And we got Echo, and that was fucking fun.
I'm watching that now.
Are you?
Yeah, it's fun.
And
it's
so
action packed.
Yeah, and you look at like, but then when even the Netflix. Well, I guess that's television, so I don't want to touch on that too much. That is all television. But like Iron Man, I loved the first Captain America. Well, Winter Soldier. I don't think there's been a Captain America movie that I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Here's
loved.
the thing: Marvel in general, if you just call it Marvel Productions, they went on a run where more than 80% of their how many movies are in that were fantastic. I don't know how many there were.
Well, if you look up on that printer right next to you, those are all Marvel movies that I'm currently selling because who needs Blu-rays?
I don't want them.
Anymore.
I don't want them.
Who needs Blu-rays?
Nah,
but that's what I mean. Like, so that's just a handful. I've already sold a lot. So there's a shit ton.
I
of
bet
Marvel
if you
movies
took
now.
the average rating of the Marvel movies, from like Rotten Tomatoes, it would probably be higher than 85%.
Sure.
High, but there's some stinkers in there.
Well, and that's, do you remember they went on a stretch where there wasn't a single movie that was considered rotten until the Eternals came out, and the Eternals fucking sucked.
It was, I mean, yes, the Eternals sucked, but there was those when it was definitely the glory days of Marvel movies where they could just do no wrong.
But the movies were good, and then they started to like, all right, let's just push stuff out. And then Ant-Man didn't score well. I thought Ant-Man was fun. Like Quantumania,
the most recent
get
one.
why people didn't like it.
Sure.
It was weird.
Yeah.
I thought it was
I'm all
good,
right with
though.
a weird movie. Like, remember when Guardians of the Galaxy first came out?
And everyone's like, this movie's going to be stupid, but
I've never heard of these characters, and they're some of the best.
I loved all three Guardians
Yes.
a lot.
Yeah.
Even the Christmas special was fun.
Thank God for James Gunn, who now
and
moved
then they
on.
fired him.
Fucking
And then
dummies.
Suicide Squad, he directed that, and the Suicide Squad was fucking awesome.
And then, didn't they bring him back?
And then they're like, all right, we're sorry. You said some dumb shit 20 years ago. Come back.
Speaking of which, isn't Gina Carano suing Disney?
I saw that. So she's suing them for wrongful termination now, like 3 years. Hasn't she been out of that? She's been out
of the role. It was honestly, I think, 2 seasons that she was out of it for. But she was supposed
that's a
to
while.
be. But she
was getting her own show, right?
She was getting her own show. Rangers of the New Republic is what she was supposed to get. So I see why she's trying to do that. And I think she couldn't sue immediately, but I think popular opinion has come back on her side.
She's not going to win.
You don't think so?
Because you can, I'm sure it's Disney. You don't go up against the mouse
fair.
and win ever.
That's fair.
You just can't.
And I don't remember what she said. I try not to stay.
I think it was something anti-Semitic. So I have no empathy or sympathy for you there.
That's fair.
There are some things where you just probably shouldn't.
But not worse than Kanye West.
Kanye West though is a musical genius. No, okay. So I haven't been though to the theaters in a while. So okay, current movies. I watched Barbie the other night.
Oh, Barbie was fire.
And you know what? When people talk shit on Barbie,
it was so much fun.
It was a lot of fun. It was good. It was colorful. It was just fun. And I love Margot Robbie. I think she's fantastic.
Me too. Yeah.
But people were talking shit. And once again, Ryan Gosling, great.
Hold on. I thought of a drama.
Okay.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Ooh, Wolf of Wall Street and our introduction to Margot Robbie.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, you just reminded me.
What is it? You show me your paycheck. I'll quit my job and come work for you. It was 70,000 last month or whatever. But
Barbie was great. Did you see Barbenheimer?
So we saw Oppenheimer opening night. We didn't see Barbenheimer. We didn't do the double feature because Oppenheimer was 19 and a half hours long. Yeah. But Oppenheimer, you have yet to see it.
I haven't seen it.
It's fucking fantastic.
I really want to see it.
It's one of those movies where I could watch over and over again. It was really good. And that was Christopher Nolan.
Yeah. Christopher Nolan.
He puts out really good fucking movies.
I can't ever be mad at anything.
It's really good. But you know what movie we just watched? Dumb Money.
Yeah. The one with what's his name?
Paul Dano, Seth Rogen. You know who else? Sebastian Stan was in it.
Really?
So for you that don't know, it was when the whole GameStop short squeeze happened, and all of the retail investors known as apes kind of went against Wall Street. And
weren't you a part of that?
So I can, I guess, talk about this now because it's happened so many years ago. So I made a good bit of money, and then I also lost a good bit of money. And I think the movie did a really good job of portraying that, like, hey, this person made $200,000 and paid off their debt. This person held and lost 20,000. And I don't think the people were real that they were talking about, besides like the actual hedge funds. But it was like, this person held because that's what she believed in. I made about 30,000. I lost about 10, so netted still 20.
That's great. That's fantastic.
But and the thing that kind of sucks in those situations, in investing, you need money to make money. Like, you can't throw 100 in and really come out ahead. Like, you need to invest 50, 60, 70, 100,000 to really gamble and win big. But that movie was really good. It's on Netflix now.
I'm gonna watch it.
So, what do you think, or how do you feel about streaming services? I mean, you have what? You have Netflix, Hulu,
Max, just Max, and drop the
Paramount HBO. Plus, Peacock,
Disney Plus,
Apple TV.
Yeah.
So, like, out of all of them, who offers the best value? And it's kind of a cock punch because they all have different things. So like each one offers something that the other doesn't. So like if you had to pick one and you could only have one, who would you go with?
Answer me this question. What was that movie? Not Five Nights at Freddy's, but it was the one where Nicolas Cage goes in and gets all the animatronics.
Wally World?
Wally World?
No.
Wally's?
Not Wally World. Where he just goes,
he doesn't speak any words. So And with that, do you know who Nicolas Cage really reminds me of? Like, I can't.
Who?
Chad Kroeger from Nickelback.
Wait, really? It was Willy's Wonderland.
Willy's Wonderland. He reminds me of Chad Kroeger from Nickelback. Every time I see Nicolas Cage, I think of Chad Kroeger from Nickelback.
So I am going to be done talking now because I hate that we are 5 fucking episodes in and fucking Nickelback every time. You son of a bitch. You did that on purpose.
Which also reminds me that National Treasure is also a very good movie.
Ooh, especially the OG. And Sean Bean also dies in that one. I think he gets arrested.
Probably. But gone from the movie. You know what
yeah.
I mean? So,
Ed Harris dies in the second one.
God damn it. Ed
Harris and Nick Cage always, they're always 69ing.
Okay, so honestly, the best bang for my buck as far as streaming services goes, number one, probably for all purpose is Netflix. Netflix has such a wide array, and I can always find something that I want to watch. That's my go-to.
So I keep trying to convince Jenna to let us cancel Netflix.
Oh, no.
But, okay.
I'd give you our login, but it's going to fucking holler at us.
No,
and they'll charge us more.
I mean, we pay for all of them. But I think the best bang is Amazon, because I feel like they do. And Disney Plus is so cheap, too, where I feel like you do get a bunch of good content. But Disney Plus doesn't have nearly. It's very specific.
Do you do the bundle, the Disney Plus and Hulu and ESPN bundle?
Of course, yeah. And so, but Hulu, I can't tell you the last time what is really on Hulu. I'll take that back. It's FX. That's how we watch The Bear.
Hulu has they have my anime that I can watch on there.
But God damn it, we're gonna do a TV episode as well. So I'm sure these streaming services will also come back up.
Yeah,
but I do think that I do think that if I could get rid of one, it would be Netflix. But how about that time that Netflix offered to sell to Blockbuster for like $50 million or something?
Blockbuster's probably kicking themselves.
And where's Blockbuster now?
Alaska, I think it was. Well,
yeah, there's one. I don't know if it's Alaska or like
in the middle of nowhere.
It's in the middle of nowhere, but Blockbuster, like thinking of Blockbuster, we didn't even talk about that, I don't think, in last week's episode about nostalgia, but
No.
Blockbuster, like those memories, the smell when you walked in.
Walking into a movie rental store, like we would do Blockbuster, Hollywood Video,
and like I was never allowed really to rent video games because they were significantly more expensive. They were like $7 for like 2 days.
We did it like once or twice. But
a movie you got a week. But I don't think you got a week with the new release. I think you got 2 days or two. What was it, like 2 days, three nights, 2 days or something?
It was definitely different. But can I say my uncle worked at a like no-name movie rental place right there on Limestone Road. What where where the Buffalo Wild Wings is? Shit, actually, it's not a Buffalo Wild Wings anymore.
The barbecue place.
Yeah.
There was a rental place there.
There was a rental place there.
All right.
And you know what they had all the way in the back? They had
Go on.
They had the little curtains.
And what was behind?
You know what was behind those curtains?
Door number 1.
Dirty porno flicks.
Did you ever go back there?
Nah, I was too young when he worked there for me to go back there. I've been in what's that place up in Philly? Condom Kingdom on South Street.
Oh yeah.
So we've been back there, and we got it's fun. It's just funny. I don't know who goes back there seriously and gets stuff, but it was just they're just the worst movies ever that you buy from that.
What is it, like Backdoor Sluts 9? And so you don't know what happened in the other fucking 8.
So we bought one, and this guy, it was just so creepy, low quality, and he like puts the girl's panties over his head, and he's peeking through like the holes as she comes and sees him sneaking in. I'm like, wow, this is really creepy. So we watched it and we laughed. It wasn't even hot at all.
Did you see the one where it's like it has to be from like the 70s, not like Deep Throat or what was the other one? Debbie Does Dallas, but it's like this cowboy. And he's smoking his fucking Camel cigarette. And he's like, hey there, sweetie. I'm going to stick this here penis in your butt. And she's like, my butt? But poop comes out of there. And he's like, not when I have this dick inside of it, it doesn't.
And he's not wrong.
And he's not. Because you know what? The science checks out, but I never went back there. I was too young. But we live in a generation.
Do they have them anymore?
I don't think they
have them anymore.
Who the fuck, number one, has a DVD player that they're still watching? And two, who doesn't just pull out their phone and who says, oh, hey, babe, I got the new, what do you use? You can't use not Gamefly, but who the fuck who are you renting it from?
Yeah.
Or through?
Yeah,
you know?
That's right.
You're not going to Redbox and getting fucking
You're renting it from
MILF
Brazzers.
grannies too.
You're just
Wait, is that an oxymoron? Can you be a MILF
grannies?
and a granny?
Yeah, they're called GILFs.
Sure.
Grandmas I like to fuck.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what about... I was going to say a DILF. But
yeah, that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Wait, a thing. Wait, I was in a DILF contest.
And you won.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
It was the cringiest thing that I've ever been involved with ever.
But you could have won. And what was the prize?
I don't even remember.
A GILF. You win a
You win one gilf.
What about a gilf? A great grandma?
Great grandma I'd like to fuck.
I mean,
nothing wrong with that.
there's nothing. And we don't kink shame here.
Never.
Never.
Not
ever. Now, not never.
No. So, what's your favorite porno movie?
So, I don't necessarily. I don't know if I necessarily have a like a favorite one, but it must be from something, and it's it's like this 45, 50-year-old cougar, okay? And she's fucking the exchange student. She like goes into his room and she makes him this fucking egg breakfast. It's like eggs and sausage.
Egg breakfast.
And she's
what
like,
that means.
she's like, hey, I see the way you're looking at me. I'm like so old I could be your mom. And he's like, oh, I think you're so sexy. And she's like, oh, well then I guess I can take this off. And she just pulls the robe off. And my man hits her with the jackrabbit for 35 minutes straight.
Okay. yeah. Same position.
35 for 35 minutes.
Very unrealistic.
What a champ, Janet Mason. What a champ you are at that video. What about you? You got one?
Okay. Do you remember it? I don't know who produced it, but it was called, I think it was either called Pirates or Pirates XXX. And it had such high production quality. It was almost like
so it was like a legit, not a feature film, but in their world, it probably won a Woody.
Yes. Oh, I'm sure it won a Woody. Which we just watched the Grammys the other night. Okay. What is it? Did we talk about this already?
Yeah.
The Grammys, the Emmys,
the Oscars,
the Woodies,
the Razzies. So the Razzies for the worst movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Woodies. So you get a Woody, it means your porno was chef's kiss.
Yeah. So Pirates probably won a Woody for sure.
Well, because there are some, like you have like the parodies like Left for Head. Pokemon has one. Family Guy.
Yeah.
The Flintstones, and it's like so whoever is, or if you ever just read the subtitles, if you're watching TV, I don't know if the guide is a little bit different now, but it used to say like hot mom takes a young stud's veiny throbbing meat rod, and like I want to know whose job it's like. All right, Eric, your job is to write the description of Mommy Milkers 2.
Okay, so go back 10 years. It was just some real horny intern. He was in charge of it, and they were like, we don't really care. This isn't the thing that's going to make us any money because the motherfuckers that are going to buy this are going to buy us anyway. But anymore, I have to imagine it's written by ChatGPT.
Oh, for sure. I doubt that horny guy is still there. Just like he's out of work now.
He's out of work. I feel bad for that horny guy.
Probably bald.
Yeah, for sure.
Eats a lot of potato chips.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, would you consider all potato-based items delicious?
I
was thinking about that. Like, all right, ready? Name a potato thing you don't like. I'll wait.
All right. A potato thing I don't like. Nah, doesn't exist.
Can't be done. And I feel like...
Favorite potato thing, though.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
A pierogi.
Wait, no, not your favorite.
I don't know.
That's not your favorite.
I know, but you made me nervous by just kind of putting me on the spot.
You were on the spot.
Okay, twice baked potato.
That's not a bad
twice
answer.
baked
That's
potato.
A much fucking better answer than a pierogi. I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with a pierogi.
Fucking delicious.
All right, I'll give a pierogi it's due justice, but like a French fry is way better than a pierogi.
So we had for lunch this fry. I guess it was a potato, and it was spiral cut into this long.
Do they call it a tornado?
Tornado fry, and it was covered in a ranch packet. And Eric and I ate it with Lady and the Tramp style, and we met at the center.
Yeah. It was magical.
We inserted our tongues into each other's mouths.
We tongue punched
each other's mouth box. But okay, so you're watching porno, but you used to be able to go to the theater. I don't know if they still have adult theaters, and you could go and watch these flicks. But it was also frowned upon. You couldn't then jerk off.
Yeah. So what are you supposed to do? You just go into that porno theater
and you
just watch the porno movie in the theater, and you say, "Oh, I can't wait to go home and jerk off."
Well, I just imagine a bunch of fucking horny middle-aged dudes just rock hard.
In trench coats.
In trench coats. Well, Paul Rubens, that's how he got arrested. Ripperoni. But that's how he he got arrested for jerking off at an X-rated theater.
I stand by the fact that you should get him tattooed on your other butt cheek. You've got to fill your other butt cheek.
So, FYI, ass tattoos are really painful. So I don't know if I...
Would you not?
It fucking hurts.
Listen, if you get another one, I'll get one.
You would not get your ass tattooed if I
I'll get my ass tattooed.
Okay, then yes, I'm in. As they say, if he's in, I'm in.
What would I get though? Not Paul Rubens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jackie Chan.
Doing the what? Where he like smacks his head.
Or SpongeGar. Get a SpongeGar on your ass, and I'll go get Paul Rubens on my head. You got to go. No, because that's bullshit, because that's going to take like 20 minutes, and that's going to be like an hour plus. So it's got to be comparable.
Yeah, that's fair. Or we could both get quickies.
Blast us some ass tattoo ideas.
I would love some ass tattoo ideas. I'll get one.
I at this point, I don't give a fuck. I'll throw it on my body. I don't care.
I would love to get an ass tattoo.
Send us my favorite ass tattoo or your worst ass tattoos. Non-offensive people, but your best ass tattoos that you can think of.
I know somebody that's got a check engine light on his butt cheek. I love that.
Would you get would you get a portrait? Would you get something fun? Would you get something vibrant? It's got to be fun.
Well, whatever it is, unless it's Star Wars related, it would be my first not Star Wars tattoo anywhere on my body.
Can I tell you, so I got my sleeves done first. And then when I got my ass done, that was the first tattoo that I got that wasn't part of my sleeve. So it was really weird. And I was always like, oh, you just have sleeves done. Now I have.
Well, it was probably really weird to have some dude just putting something on your butthole or on your butt.
Well, so we went into my butthole first, and then we started the tattoo. But it was well, and I was like, at the time when he was tattooing me, he wasn't in a studio. He didn't have his own room, so I was out in the open, and there was a little those things you put up to change, the little partition.
Yeah.
But people were coming around oh, that's cool, and my ass was just out. I was rocking out with my cock out.
Well, have you ever been to just a gym?
Sure, I go to the gym just for the shower, but I don't even go to exercise. I'm just in the locker room.
I don't think that so the old dudes that I see naked in the locker room in a gym, I don't think that I've ever actually seen those same dudes in the gym. I'm pretty sure that they leave their house in their pajamas, they get to the gym, they go into the locker room, they grab their bag, they get naked, and they walk around for 10 or 15 minutes. They get dressed into their regular clothes, and then they go to work.
I mean, is there anything wrong with that?
No.
I do see a lot of YouTube videos where it's come with me as I choose to be homeless in my Honda Accord from 2002. And then I spend $10 a month to go to Planet Fitness to use their showers. And that's actually really smart.
Smart as
because
fuck.
You can also, that membership is, you get the black membership, and you can go to multiple.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to have a home
where you
gym.
go. Yeah.
You go 10 times to a gym. So they're traveling so much where it's fine. I've never showered in a group setting before like that. At the gym.
Yeah.
I've always, or in school, I never, they had those fucking showers in the locker room. Nobody was fucking whipping each other, snapping towels and, whatever else they were fucking doing. I hear that in a lot of locker rooms, there are glory holes. I've yet to find one.
Okay.
There used to be a glory hole at a restaurant we used to go to. I don't think it was actually a glory hole. I would stick my dick through, and
nothing happened.
Nothing happened every single time.
So I heard about. Have you ever heard of the knock? I believe it's the gay knock. You go into the bathroom. I think it happened. You know the Granite Run Mall. It's not anywhere near us.
R.I.P. by the way. But yes, go on.
That mall is gone. Closed. So they would go, and I don't know what the knock was because I've never been there. But apparently, you'd go in and you'd sit at the toilet. And you would give it the secret knock, and it was a knock that was, no one would do this in a bathroom stall. And if the person replicated the knock or answered back with the correct knock, that means you were both looking for, gay sex, and they'd come in and do.
And so how do I find, or asking for a friend, how would someone find, or what is it, call this number for a good time?
Yeah, always in the porta potties.
Always in the porta potty. That's where I put my number.
Yeah.
Call.
Can I tell you, Iron Hill Park, when I was in high school, that was our home.
Is that where you would go for the good time?
It was our home course for cross country, and there was a code. So it was one of those parking lots where all the parking spots were angled. You couldn't back into the spot because they were all angled like this. You had to pull in forward, right? Both, on both sides, left and the right. So what would happen is if they wanted to show that they were ready for a good time, they would back into the spot and they would just wait there. Well, when they saw a school full of kids pull in, they would just leave every single time. That place was disgusting.
Is that still a thing?
No, not anymore.
We could go there after this.
We could go check. We could go check.
So we're kind of we're gonna kind of change the way that we do things. So typically at this point we would be reviewing a snack. We realized without having video, and we're gonna start doing our food reviews. So we think video is kind of not really relevant for this. So we are going to pull back from snack reviews every episode, and starting next week with not this episode, but the following episode, we're going to kind of review or talk about something at the end that is relevant to the topic that we're talking about, instead of us just shoving food into our faces. Yeah, unless it's an episode about food, in which case
our gullet holes.
Our gullet holes.
Do you want to review a movie?
I mean, we could, but what movie?
We talked about a lot of movies.
So is there anything that is really
You know what I'd like to review?
Yes, what?
This Elysian space dust that I have in my hand.
Okay, yeah. So let's fill this time and space with something.
So the whole thing, I'm going to give it the whole brown bottle. Needs a bottle opener. The front of it, you know what? I'm going to post a picture. We'll post a picture on the Instagram. It is a hop, and he's blowing what one could only describe as space dust.
And let me jump in and say, so years ago, Eric, I think, discovered this beer maybe 10 years ago almost.
Yeah.
And do you remember when we first met, I didn't drink beer or alcohol really at all.
Yeah.
And especially IPAs.
I consider myself to be your worst influence.
Sure. Were you my beer mentor?
Yeah.
And Space Dust, though, was the first IPA that I tried and really liked. And then about a year ago, it just kind of disappeared for a little while.
Seltzers.
Yeah, and then seltzers kind of took over. But I'm pretty sure it's owned by Anheuser-Busch.
Are they?
I think the parent company is. So I think Elysian. Is it Elysian or is it Elysian?
You know what? That's a good question.
But I think they're owned. Wait, Anheuser-Busch is Bud Light, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So I'm pretty sure that
interesting.
That's the parent company, because when we did the brewery tour out in St. Louis, they had this on draft.
Really?
And
oh wow, that would
make sense. Which sucks, because I wish I would have gotten like a wall, like the little tins or little signs. But one of the best IPAs, if you haven't tried it, and
very good, very bitter, very hoppy.
We will take if anyone wants to give us Space Dust.
Yeah, I'll take Space
the beer.
Dust. Is Space Dust the name for
I'm
a
sure
drug?
there's a drug called Space Dust.
All right, well, there's the review for this week.
And next week we'll actually have a legit non-beer based review. But
although I don't mind reviewing a beer every week.
I also don't mind that. Don't mind that.
I don't remind it either.
You're reminded.
I don't mind it or remind it.
Well, anyway, I'm Greg.
And I'm Eric.
And we are the Daddies. Thank you for listening.